Well, welcome to Made in Spain. We are in season 3, episode 5. I lose track, Laura. I'm Nalini Sharma and
I am Laura Senior, and we are
Made in Spain. And today we are talking about wine, specifically wine from our area, the Costa Blanca region. Spain is a huge wine country, wine production, wine consumption, you name it, there is almost every kind of wine in this country. But we decided to kind of do a micro focus today on
the
our
Costa Blanca. So let me just accept that we're scratching the surface. We will have many episodes at different times during this podcast about wine, because there are so many different wine regions. And as Nalini said, we're even just scratching the surface when it comes to the Costa Blanca. We decided to feature a couple of wineries today that we'll be talking about.
And that's not even all the wineries in our just very tiny radius from where
Absolutely
we live.
Not.
There are wineries we didn't even know existed.
And we're about to find out even more, after these next few weeks, because we will be even visiting and exploring more of them. So thank you for joining us today. Just a quick reminder, if you didn't listen to the last episode, to go back and look for the hidden gems of the Costa Blanca. I think you'll really, really enjoy it.
I think this is almost a continuation of, the hidden gem sort of theme, because I think when people think of wine from Spain, I feel they're going to think of a Rioja.
Yes, they'll think of a Rioja. Maybe if they're wine connoisseurs, Ribera Duero.
Right.
But definitely not some of the wines that we're going to be speaking about today.
No. Okay, so do you want to talk about the winery that you had a visit to?
Before we go there, I feel for anybody that's watching any of the videos on socials or YouTube or any of the visuals, I have to explain why on earth I'm wearing this hat and an orange dress. Like, I feel like it's kind of an elephant in the room. So in our last episode, if you didn't watch that, we talked about Sahati, which is a really cool little hat brand. The hats are, I wouldn't say expensive, but they're definitely a little bit higher price. And we said that, there was another hat store just down the road in Gata de Gorgos that, sold also quite cool stuff, but, way more affordable. So the hat I'm wearing is from that store. It was 24 euros, and I love this hat.
It's super cute and very well made.
Super lightweight, you take it anywhere. And I actually took it to the beach the other day, and it even protected my shoulders because it is, so wide. And then I'm wearing an orange dress, and then afterwards we said, you should have worn that for the last episode. But
no,
we're cute. Going with the citrus theme that we had in the last episode of the orange juice and the asparagus. Next, I need to find asparagus.
Yeah.
that's going to be a little harder.
That's next season's
That's next season, yes. So for today, like Nalini said, we are going to be focusing on a couple of different wineries. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the Masos de Guadalest.
Okay.
And then if you want, Nalini, you can tell us a little bit about our latest discovery too.
Yeah.
So do you want me to start on the Masos?
Absolutely.
Okay, so first of all, if you all remember the episode that we did about Guadalest, I think it was like Terror and Delight.
Horror and Delight.
Horror and Delight in Guadalest or something like that. Guadalest is an absolutely beautiful little town, lots of different visitors. I don't think anybody thinks about wine the moment they think about Guadalest at all. It's more like a medieval town.
Yeah.
Even when taking I'm going to take like a memory or a keepsake from there, you'd probably be thinking about the Nísperos,
right,
which we featured in that episode with the Níspero liqueur and the almonds and that kind of thing. But recently, on one of our drives up there, so this wasn't something we found on social media or online, we saw a sign that said, winery, Masos de Guadalest, and I was like, oh, what's that? It's like a new winery. So we then went online to discover that they offer some pretty cool things. One of them is a wine tasting,
which I could not do it that day, but you went up there with some friends.
Yes. So I went with two friends that came from the US, and I think it's worth mentioning that because and we'll get to that in a moment, but they've both visited Napa, And, you know, so this was like, oh, we're going to a winery. I'm like, well, I hope it's not kind of a disappointment. You know, these are two people that have visited Napa Valley multiple times.
Right.
I'm like, I don't know. So, first of all, when you go on the website for the Machos de Guadalest, you can pick a number of different options. The three main options that they have is one of them is you can get just a wine tasting for their wines, which was so affordable that I actually didn't know if that was just the price to book it, and then I was gonna have to pay something extra when I got there.
But you told me it was 20, right?
It's 20 euros per person. But that, well, so when we got there, the place is gorgeous.
Nice.
It's absolutely beautiful, beautiful views. It's like a finca, actually quite similar to the finca from the Marcia del Altet.
Right.
But they have some really beautiful artwork outside, like a sculpture, and they have an area for weddings and events.
Oh, nice.
And you see all the vineyards walking up there, and when you roll up with the car, the gate opens like automatically. It's
nice.
Very, very nice.
But they also have a wine shop, you said.
They do have a wine shop, and they have a restaurant inside as well. But it's not actually a restaurant. It's for their own private tastings.
Okay.
But it's very well set up, and it's very pretty. So the one option is this 20 euro wine tasting. Then there's an option for 30 euros that also includes a visit to the actual vineyard and more of an explanation per person. And then I think the next option is like 50 or 60. I can't remember the exact price, but that includes a 6 or 7 course meal that is married to their olive oils and their wines.
Nice.
And actually, the 30 euro one that I just remembered, the 30 euro one includes also their olive oils.
Oh, okay.
So that you do the tasting for the olive oil and their wines. So we went to do the tasting, and they served their white wine, which is delicious, and it's actually not going to be out on the market for another month.
Okay.
So we'll link the website on our socials and actually on our website as well, so that you can go check them out. And it was just a really nice, crisp, beautiful wine. And what was surprising, that in this 20 euro tasting, when we got there, again, we've got this little table set up outside. It was a very nice day, so that helped.
Right.
And they had cheeses, a local charcuterie, on the table. And I thought to myself, there's no way. Like, this is like just included in this 20 euros. Yeah, it was. And it was like the cheeses, the charcuteries, and then the sommelier came out and explained the white wine.
That's nice. So from that experience, Laura, would you say you've learned something about wine tasting or that particular wine?
Well, I've always liked the whole idea of wine tasting and all of that, but I just think it's such a vast world. One thing I did pick up is that there are a lot of different varieties of grapes just locally.
In this little area, in basically our backyard.
Exactly. So the Machos de Guadalest, they served the white wine, and then they served 2 different red wines.
Oh, okay.
Now, I will say personally, and you know this, and I think it's kind of a crime to most Spanish people. It's like, oh my God, not everybody here kind of looks down on white wine in one way or another. So it's like
really?
the red, in a way, like it's more of a female thing, right? So it's anyway. So I would say that yes, the red wines were interesting. I'm more of a fan of the white, and I asked them multiple times, like, hey, when are you gonna kind of bring this out to market? 1 second. Baba.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, where did you want to pick it up?
I don't know.
Okay,
One second.
ask you. Okay.
Yeah.
So during the wine tasting, you had red and white wine as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're all really, really, really great. So definitely recommend the visit, and I recommend going for the experience there. We haven't done their full tasting with the food, but I do think it would be worth it. For those people who are kind of like bigger eaters than we are, I think absolutely worth it.
Okay, and then then it's a really good recommendation for anybody coming to this area. Like maybe you're staying in the Benidorm area, maybe even Alicante. It's a nice day trip. Recommend public transit because there are a lot of tour buses that go up there, or Uber. Do not drive. Guadalest is not an easy road to drive.
Absolutely.
under any circumstance.
The one thing as well that I wanted to mention is they are opening a hotel. So Masters de Guadalest is opening a boutique hotel in Guadalest that is going to have a wine theme.
Very cool.
That's gonna be really, really cool. I think August, September is the timeline for the opening.
Really nice.
And it'll be based on their wines and on their olive oils. And I will say that extra friendly people. And we spoke about Sahati, and again, all the love for the Sahati people, but they weren't that welcoming. The people from Masters de Guadalest, you're at a 20-year-old wine tasting, and they kind of make you feel like very special, and like you are their most important client in that moment.
As they should.
Yeah,
It's their business. So good. I'm glad
and
you
I
had a
think
nice time.
great place as well for an event,
Okay.
private event, wedding, anything like that. I would definitely pick that place.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So we did a little, I would say, an excursion on Saturday.
Yes.
That turned into, it was supposed to have been a 2-hour content creation.
Yeah. It started off that way.
It did start that way. It did not end that way. But anyway, this is the first time. Have you been to any event in close to where we are in La Nucia?
I haven't. Because, they host that like international day and all of that. I've never actually been.
Oh, well, okay. I am big on little sort of local festivals. Just having younger children, now they're older, so it's harder to drag them to certain things. But I would always take them to whatever little festival I could find in the summer. And I mean, they didn't at the time, whatever. It's a strawberry festival. It's pumpkin picking. It's something that is seasonal. And they never really, they're little kids. You can manipulate them into going to those things. Now, I mean, this is a wine festival. But I kind of fell off doing those things because I'm a foreigner in, a country that is not of my birth. I don't know people here necessarily. I don't know what to expect. But I've started to kind of look into more, like the little local things. So La Nucia, they have a lot of events. I mean, you can probably find something this weekend even. There's always something happening. We saw this, the banners, and they advertise it quite well. So the banners is translation is a night of wine. So I think 150 different, not wineries, but how do they say it? Like experiences.
Yes, because about half of I want to say half was food.
Food.
And then the other half was wine.
Right.
Not just wine, actually. Wine and other liquors. Because they had like vermouth.
They had vermouth. They had cava. So we bought the tickets. Tickets were under €10 to get in. It came with a little pouch. So we rolled up around 5-ish, and it was not very busy at the time because common sense would say don't go out in the sun. So it was very hot when we left the house.
When we first got the tickets, I remember thinking, like, it says it starts at 1 p.m. Like,
I don't know who was there at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because at 5 it was very hot. Anyway, you go in, you scan your ticket, whatever, they give you this little pouch, and it comes with a wine glass. So everybody has their own wine glass, and they have cleaning stations. So you can go around, which is actually, when you think about it, it's very eco-friendly. There was hardly any garbage anywhere or stray cups.
I actually didn't see any one-time use plastics in the whole place.
No.
Which, if you think about it, for a wine festival, if they wouldn't have had that, well, first of all, they can't give everybody a glass every time they try a new wine. Because the other thing as well is that the cavas and the wines that we looked at, they were mostly like €3, €2.50. They're super affordable.
Yeah, not expensive. So if you you want to try, there was music. We tried a few different cavas. The wine that we did choose was what is the name of the company?
Mar de Vins.
Right. So it is underwater, where they not distill it, but it's where
like fermented, I would
say,
right? So we are going to go visit where they put the wine underwater, but it's under seawater.
It's under seawater, 30 meters under. They do it for 6 months. And that's just their process. They use 2 types of grapes, which again are from this region. It is called the Maravilla and the Hero wine or grape variety.
Yes.
Apparently, those two varieties have been around since the 70s. But this is a husband and wife team.
And that's it. Like, there's no one else. There's
No.
just the two of them.
And this is their business. This is their livelihood. This is not like a little passion project on the side. They somehow came into this winery, did a little research. I don't think they necessarily bought it, but they had an opportunity to maybe take it over,
Yeah.
right? So,
and it is called a micro winery because, as Nalini said, there's only the couple that works.
Yeah, the husband, he said, he's like, imagine 24 hours a day together.
Yeah. And then Nalini said something, well, at least you have wine. And he's like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But they have a red and a white.
And their website's super cool, by the way. Like, it's a
Very
really nice website.
And they have specific bottles that you can buy where they age those ones the 30 meters under the Mediterranean here.
And there is another company that does that here in Spain. I can't remember the name, but the other company that does it is super expensive. So I bet you anything, like these people, it's going to be way more affordable.
Well, for a bottle of that wine is about €80.
Right.
And it's a limited amount.
But I bet you anything, we need to find this out to share with the audience. This other company that does this where they pull out the submarine wine,
right?
And it's got all the kind of mollusks and all that on the bottle. It's way more than €80.
I would believe it. But their wines, the red and white that they make, we tried the white wine, and it was, I didn't know how else to describe it, but I just told her it's very clean. It tastes really like just a very clean, crisp, light wine. And she was happy with my description.
Well, she actually said, in this world, clean is something we want to hear.
Right. It was just a very
clean taste.
But also just really interesting. They are from La Nucia. The winery is in La Nucia. It's their family business. They, husband and wife work together. They do it almost out of their little garage that they have. That's how they started. And what I found really interesting about all the wineries that were there, there was no big business there. They were all little wineries, little producers, very specific, and really just proud of what they've achieved.
It was interesting also from them. And again, if you want to check them out, it is called Mar de Vins, which is Valenciano for Sea of Wines.
Right.
And their website is Taller Mar de Vins, so CELLER Mar MARDEVINS.com, and we'll list it on the episode notes. But definitely check out their website, and you can pre-order the submarine bottles.
You can pre-order, but they're also open for tours. You can book a tour, and trust me, when you go to festivals such as these ones, you meet all kinds of people, but also they're just so passionate, and they want you to ask questions. They want to describe what, their process is, where their grapes come from. Like our hat friends. Laura, I was going through my mind this morning, just a laundry list of all the things that we ate on Saturday.
Too many mixed things.
Would you like me to list them?
Just list a few, please.
Okay. So first, Laura and her husband came to our house because we were going to have lunch, right? So we're going to have lunch and then just go to this wine festival for like 2 hours. And we thought, oh, probably, put on a Netflix. We'll leave and then go home, watch Netflix, chill at the pool or whatever. Okay.
Fallacy.
Okay, that didn't exactly happen. So the afternoon started around 3. I made barbecue, so there was chicken. I made a bolognese. There were Asian noodles. There was grilled salmon and a salad. Okay, so I had the chicken, the salmon, the salad. We also had Taittinger champagne with raspberries.
We did fresh picked raspberries from Nalini's garden.
Yeah. Then we went to the wine festival, and immediately upon entering, devoured a cheesecake.
Yeah. with a cava.
Yeah, glass of cava. And let's just say the pours are very healthy. Yes. It's not a €3 pour.
Also, It's not a tasting pool.
No, it is it's a big glass and they're giving you a good serving of it. Then we proceeded to have right. My husband ordered oysters. So we had oysters. Then we had gambas,
Little shrimp.
shrimp with salt and lemon,
And then we had a fresh calamari.
fresh calamari.
So I think in total we may have gone through 20% of the animal kingdom.
Okay, we did that. There was some kind of meat charcuterie on the table.
Oh my goodness.
I did not. I don't eat that, so I don't know what happened there. Then we had to round everything off a paella.
We committed the sin of eating paella for dinner,
For
even
dinner.
though we told
And we
everyone.
did not order it. That was not something we ordered.
Nalini lasered at her husband. I'm like, don't order paella for dinner. It was too late. But
Yeah.
then, you know what? We all ate it. So.
We all ate it, and he said, in his defense, he's like, "Why? I'm hungry."
It was really, really
It
good.
was delicious. And then we had to stop before we went home. But then I ate pizza when I went home.
Oh my goodness. Actually, I didn't join in on that. One more thing I want to just mention about the Marsos de Guadalest is that they actually have brought back some of the traditions for the winemaking in the area after taking a 100-year hiatus.
Wow.
So there is actually a lot of reviving of the wine culture. For a while, the only winery that was known around here was Enrique Mendoza. And
Right.
you can start to see from the festival that we went to on Saturday, that is definitely not the case anymore. Another interesting thing that we learned at the festival is we tried a couple of the cavas that were from Utiel-Requena,
Yes.
which is near Castellón.
Yeah.
And the gentleman explained that actually they're not called cava. It's really interesting. It's like, you can only have the denomination if you're from like the region of Cava in
Right.
Catalonia.
Okay.
So again, like the whole region of Champagne thing, where the area is from for this cavas, for the wines, is very, very important. And which denomination they get. So we're gonna continue to explore this little world of wines around the area. We are going to take a trip out to see the submarine wines.
Yeah.
I think is gonna be super exciting. And one more thing on the Marsos de Guadalest is total coincidence. They were a big part of this wine festival on Saturday, and I don't think it was like a Guinness Book of Records, but it was definitely a really big thing.
Right.
They were doing this tasting
Right.
with 1,000 people at the same time, where they had the gentleman who's the owner of the winery or their sommelier, one of the expert winemakers, up on stage,
Right.
and he was walking all these 1,000 people at the same time
Through the tasting.
This is what you're tasting. This is what you should be seeing. Put the wine glass against a white background,
Right.
so that you can see the sediment and so on and so forth with 1,000 people at the same time. And that was like a really cool thing to do.
Yeah. We didn't do it because we were chasing the mayor. But
Yeah, we'll talk about that in our slice of life.
that was different. Yeah. Something
Yeah.
else was happening there. But
Awesome. So that's a little bit about wine culture in the Costa Blanca. A lot more to be
a
explored.
tiny little bit,
Tiny
because we
bit
know
there.
there are thousands that we could explore. But
And watch out for this festival. Definitely, if you're in the area, it happens in June. This is the second time they did it.
I would say don't watch out
don't
for it. I would say
don't.
schedule. Like if you are
Yes.
coming to this area, I mean, really look at some of the smaller towns and the festivals they have, because they're very well put together. They're very interesting, and you're also with local people. They're
Yeah.
not. It's not really tourists there. It's not touristic.
I have to say that I think probably 90% of the people there were local people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Slice of life.
Slice of life.
Slice of life. La
Okay.
Nuit del Vin,
Yes.
the Night of Wine, and the Marsos de Guadalest, and our little experience with the Lanafian mayor,
It was
Mr.
actually, yeah.
Bernabe Cano. So we have the wine.
We
Nalini,
do.
can you tell us about our little pouches again? And
Okay.
just show like
So, okay, the pouch, this is what we got with our tickets.
Mhm.
And it is a little black pouch with a wine glass inside. But I think what is really cool is the fact that you didn't use plastic cups. So not a lot of garbage. Everybody had this, and they had cleaning stations. So after you had your, whatever sample, you just go to the cleaning station, these big vats of water. You put the pump and clean it, throw it in the bucket, which is disgusting.
Really, it's like, by the end of the night, if anyone drinks what's in that bucket,
Ew,
they will die.
it's so gross. However, I didn't hear a lot of glasses breaking or anything. Everybody seemed to be doing fine.
Let me just kind of point out that we did leave. We left about 10-ish. No, even a bit before that. We left at 9:30-ish. The festival didn't conclude till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Till 3 a.m. And they also had transportation.
They had transportation included in the ticket because, again, if you've been at a wine festival till 3 o'clock in the morning, you really should take public transportation.
Yeah, they had transportation that made sort of some stops and the glass. So this is the wine that you purchased at the winery in Guadalest.
It is. So here's our little glasses. And the wine that we have, we went with something a little different because neither you or me usually drink rosé.
I think rosé is very pretty. I think it's a nice idea.
It's a nice idea. We'll see about the taste. So this is a rosé monastrell from Peña de Castellet. And actually, do you see the shape of the sticker?
Oh, yeah, I do.
It's Guadalest.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Cool. So, shout out to Masters de Guadalest. Let's try this.
Again, we're not wine tasters.
No, we're not.
But we'll give it a go.
In our cleaned out glasses.
Smells really nice.
There you go. Let's see. I'm going to continue to say that I prefer a white. If I close my eyes, I wouldn't be able to tell you what this is. Like, it's just alcohol. I'm terrible at this. Like, close your eyes. It's like, is this a rosé? Is this a white wine?
Okay, wait. I'm going to try.
Try it.
Again,
No, I don't get it. I mean,
I will say for a rosé, which, again, I'm not a fan of, I think this is actually quite nice.
I'm going to say that my palate has not grown to understand rosé wines yet, but we'll go with, I'll tell you what, we will come back to this and try their white wine, because their white wine is amazing.
I'm sure, I'm more of a white wine person.
This is now confirmed.
And my obsession now with Chacoli.
Yes. But I was like, what is going on? Everybody talks about rosé.
It's like, the color.
Is it the color?
It's pretty. Look how cute you look. It matches your dress, your hat. It's a very summer vibe. It's not
as good as white wine.
It's like an Aperol Spritz. The worst drink ever invented.
I hate Aperol Spritz.
Oh my God, it tastes like Benadryl in a glass. Ugh.
Anyway, so going back to our slice of life, we wanted to talk a little bit about meeting the mayor and our latest experience horseback riding.
Right. So Saturday he showed up, which he normally does to these events. Mm-hmm. And if anybody knows,
he's a very committed mayor.
He's a very committed mayor, and anybody can say what they want about him. I don't follow local politics necessarily. However, here is a mayor. He gets things done. What he has managed to
achieve in line with you.
And I wasn't here before to say I knew what this village looked like. However, when my son first started playing tennis at that tennis academy, it was a sports center. They had the sports center, the pool,
I think
a few things.
They won like European City of Sport.
Right.
And we are talking about a town that has very few people.
Very few people. I mean, really. And what he is building now, what La Nucia looks like now, it is so different in the last 5 or 6 years. It's like, completely changed.
So Nalini's background as a TV host and presenter came back to her because I was very uncomfortable just randomly going up to the mayor going like, we would like to meet you. She's
a little bit more nervous. And I said, well,
do we have to do this right now?
I'm like, there's the mayor. And I said, well, let's just go talk to him. And she's like, no, maybe we shouldn't. We need to ask somebody. I go, ask, who are we going to ask? We're just going to go up to somebody standing around him and say, hey, can we get a picture and meet the mayor? And Laura was nervous.
I was a little nervous, and again, especially because there was like a swarm of people around him. He does have that vibe or charisma where you know, everybody wants to be around him because also like a business person and blah blah.
Well, I pointed out to Laura, I said, I've interviewed Brad Pitt on the red
It's
carpet.
just like, look, I'm not gonna get
talk to
nervous
the
over
mayor.
the mayor after
Like,
interviewing Brad Pitt.
Yeah, and also, what is he gonna say? No, I don't want to talk to you. Again, if he said it, I would not be offended. I couldn't care less. But
He was nice.
he was super nice.
He
and-
was super nice. So
and-
I'm probably thinking in our future, very soon, we will interview the mayor of Lanutia. But I have to say, the people organizing the event, the people from the town that come up with all this stuff, it is a lot of hard work to put things like that together. And you know, they could just not do it like all the other towns that don't do any of this stuff.
No, but you have to really give them credit because they use the space that they have.
Yeah.
They attracted a very big crowd. They stuck
And they're
to
promoting local companies,
local businesses, local people. They employed, I would say, mostly students for
Yes.
the evening, whether the students were doing, I don't know, work placement or volunteering or what have you, but they were on it. They were cleaning tables before you could even put your glass
Yes.
down and tidy up. Yeah, it was a fantastic event. I'm so happy we met the mayor. He was very interested in our podcast.
and I will just say €9.50 for the ticket with live music and these glasses included.
Live
It's pretty crazy.
And live music and really good bands. The first guy that when we got there, I didn't believe he was really singing. I'm like, Laura,
I'm
that's
doing like
scary.
an AC/DC Guns N' Roses
Yeah, I was
tribute,
like,
and it was
this-
one person.
Yeah,
I was like,
karaoke.
how is he doing?
There's one
this?
person and nobody was interested because the few people that were there were so hot.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
please
But-
get me a swimming pool.
But it was really pretty. As the night went on, all the ladies were up in their nice summer dresses, dancing.
What did you learn about dancing here in Spain at these kind of events?
Anybody can do it.
And the men don't dance.
No, the men just sit and stare.
While the women dance.
But I will say, my husband, if I let him go to the front, he was sitting way at the back.
I have some great videos of Melanie and her husband.
We were dancing in the back. But if
Yes.
we were there,
He would have been entertainment for sure.
he would have been on the stage.
He would have.
That's what happened.
So, for our second part of a slice of life,
Yeah.
Nalini, I want you to tell the audience about your latest hobby and
My latest
experience, horseback riding.
Right. So a few weeks ago, we did, again, for the podcast, we try and experience events, things, activities in our area, outside of our area. And we did the little Saturday trail here, right down in Albir. There's a stable, very nice. You can go out for maybe it's an hour and a half, 2 hours. How much? €30 or?
€30, and it's like an hour and a half trip.
Yeah, so you just go on the trail and stuff like that. But I was a little bit nervous. The horse I had, Audrey, was in the back because apparently she's the horse that kicks everybody. So Audrey can't be in the front. She has to be in the back so she won't kick anything behind her. But what I realized being on the horse, even though most of the horses there are fairly docile, there is a guide with you, 1 or 2 guides to, make sure, because they'll just randomly start eating shrubs or grass or trees, and I don't know how to control a horse. I thought it would be better if I had a little bit of confidence. And since I had my accident last year, I try to push myself to do things that maybe I wouldn't normally do because I'm afraid if I don't push myself,
I'm extremely proud of you.
I'll just never try anything else again in my life.
I'm just going to put it out there. The fear in your eyes on these horses, but the fact that you are pushing yourself. We went to one lesson where we were both lying back fully with our eyes closed on the horse. And the fact that Nalini kind of pushes herself, because like you said to me, that most of the time when you're on top of the horse, the one thing you're thinking about the whole time is don't die, don't die, don't die.
The guys he said to me last, he's like, you're very focused. I'm like, yeah,
I'm
because
scared.
I think I'm pretty sure
The whole time I'm here.
In the next hour, I will die somehow on this horse. So I'm whatever he tells me to do, I'm doing it to a T because I think that will keep me alive. So that's what I'm doing. It sounds ridiculous, but I'm actually doing it.
But I think this concept of, overcoming any limitation, any challenge, that's also part of the reason that we started this podcast in the first place. It's like, okay, we've had this idea, let's do it. Let's not wait or, think about what is everybody else going to think? What is everybody else going to say?
No, and
Same thing with the horseback riding. A lot of people are like, oh, you're taking horseback riding was like from nowhere.
from nowhere.
So what?
And yeah, I also mentioned we could probably buy a horse.
There's this campaign of like,
I was like,
buy a
we
horse.
can buy. And what did you say to me?
Yes.
You said that's $2,500 each. I'm like, yeah.
This is the things you talk about after a wine festival. It's like, let's buy a horse, even though it makes 0 cents.
And my son said as soon as after the first lesson, he said, "Let me guess, you're gonna
want to buy a horse.
You're gonna start googling horses, aren't you? Buy a horse." I'm like, no. Why would I buy a horse?
Yes, it
So-
did happen.
To be continued.
Yes. So we are going to move on to our sentence of the day.
Okay.
Before we go on to that, I would like to ask Nalini that you share about our next episode.
Oh, the next episode. So we're sort of debating what we should do because it's summer. I mean, we're recording in the summer. There are
Mhm.
a lot of summer things that we could do, but we happen to be going to Madrid on Wednesday, even though we did sort of a little snippet on Madrid in our first
Mhm.
episode, the Mercat. We thought we would do it from the perspective of, summer in Madrid. It is very hot in the summer in Madrid, typically. But we're going to do kind of, a walking.
Shopping focus.
Yeah,
episode.
shopping and just walking and not trying to do anything super crazy or unattainable for somebody who's going to visit, but just our experience.
Absolutely. So watch out. Next episode, final episode for season 3.
Yeah.
Is going to be a little shopping trip or a day trip to Madrid during the summer months.
Right.
So the sentence of the day,
Okay.
very relative to our wine,
Oh, okay.
here is donde no hay vino, no hay amor.
Okay. Where is
Donde no hay vino,
okay?
no hay amor.
If I don't have wine, I don't have love.
Where there is no wine, there is no love.
Oh, look, I got one. Oh my god. It's only taken 3 seasons.
What do you think it means?
Exactly what it says. I don't think there's a deeper meaning there. It's just, I don't know why.
It's a lot easier to love when there's wine,
Yeah.
for sure. So thank you very much for joining us on this episode, exploring a little bit, scratching the surface of the wine culture in the Costa Blanca. Please subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. And don't miss out our last episode of season 3 on Madrid.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Bye.